Well, this one's in a off the scale share, and it literally happened to me yesterday, and I wanted to do a video, but I was so emotionally in it that I had to contend with all what I was going through. And it's got to do with our loved ones that have passed, and they gave me an insight, and through that insight, yes, I've got another gift that's come through, but it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and for me even more so, it's something I've always seen that we will be reuniting and reconnecting with our loved ones if it is of their journey and ourselves. And another thing that I've also believed in is that why do we have to remember what we've gone through with their journey of when they depart and leave the earth plane? And you know, like for myself, my father was taken from us, literally taken from us through the medical system. And that was in September. So yes, I've been able to process it and understand it and go through it, and I'm a lot more at peace. And that is only because I was able to assist him and help him at that vital part of him passing, and I've still been able to communicate. And only 2 weeks ago, I've had to let go of my little darling. She's been with us, she's Bijan, she's been with us for 14 years, and she's my miracle dog because she was run over, and the vet diagnosed her as brain dead and paralyzed, and pretty much gave her 3 hours. Now, I can't get over what is this bloody 3-hour thing, because the doctor that operated on my father said, oh, I thought he would have been gone within 3 hours, and he lasted 6 days on the 7th. And I'm hearing so many people talk about this 3-hour thing. What is this bloody 3-hour thing? But anyway, coming back, I had experienced a lot of emotional turmoil to say goodbye to her, my little Bijan. And to the point she didn't want to go, and she kept begging me, and every time it came to that point, she would go into a panic attack, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this to her. And to the point she was begging me, no. But it was her journey, her body had given up because flea treatment. And she has been the most loyal, unbelievable soul. And within half an hour, because we did it at home and we had all the music and, you know, got her into a beautiful space. And within half an hour, she came back. And it's amazing because she came hurtling through the frequencies, and I could feel her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was bouncing around, and she was just so happy. And so she's with me. But also she goes off and comes back, and it's so funny because I'm going about my day, and then next minute, oh, sorry, yes, no, you can come and sit on the bed, and so she opened another journey of, yeah, when they don't wish to go, they can come through, and yeah, so I involve a stool in our life. But this one yesterday was so profound. So I was out in a heightened state of my dream state, and I was out shopping with my parents, both my mum and dad, and then came back. But I came back and I woke up. And I could still see my dad at the end of my bed, but to the point that, yes, I see spirit, I see them. And, but to this point, he was more real than what he has ever been. And he looked solid. And I was sitting up in the bed with my husband, and I'm looking at my father at the end of the bed and remembering that I'd just gone shopping with my father and my mother, and I'm thinking, hang on, that was a dream. What's he doing at the end of the bed? So I turned to my husband and I said, my dad's gone, hasn't he? And he looked at me as, what? Yes. I tried to recall, had he passed? Something in the back of my thought pattern had said he had, but I went and tried to locate, had he died? Had we had a funeral for him? And if he had died, what did he die of? Totally gone. Just, I knew there was an energy there, but there was nothing there. So my brain's going 10 to the dozen, and I said to my husband, so did we have his funeral? And my husband looked at me and said, yes. And I said, so when did he die? He said, September. And I'm trying to recall. I am trying to recall that episode of what he was telling me. And I looked at him again and I said, how did he die? And he said, via an operation. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my father as though he was in the room with us like normal. So you can imagine my brain is like, whoa, what is happening? I'm trying to recall that episode, and I knew there was something, there was nothing in what my husband had said. And I can still hear him telling me. I was trying to compute with the frequency of the words. Then I was over here trying to look out of what I had gone through with my father, and yet he's standing in front of me. Remembering that we've just come back from shopping, but I knew that was a dream. I was speechless. Anyway, my husband got up to start the day. I'm left trying to work out what the hell is this. First of all, oh my gosh, this is the first sign of Alzheimer's. I'm on dementia. What the hell? And I knew it was neither of that because my mind was so clear. So I went back. I tuned back into my dream. And I knew in that time I had gone into a higher frequency. And when I brought myself back, I thought, oh, this is heavy. This where we reside, all of us, is a much heavier energy. But my frequency was still connected with my father, who is on a higher frequency, but I was in and still connecting with him, but I was able to communicate to my husband. But what was fascinating, what and how had I totally forgotten? It was like it was erased from my memory of the pain, the sorrow, and because it was pretty horrific of what we went through. But yeah, I was sitting there looking at my father, and I sat there and I thought, no, I'm in a loop here. I'm in 2 dimensions. And so I thought, well, okay, well, I will get out of bed and go down into the lounge and start my day. And by then I'll be able to sink back in and come back in to this frequency. So off I went, and I went down and I saw all our photos of our grandchildren, and I'm just looking at them going, yeah, this is my reality. I know all this. And I looked around and I thought, well, I haven't forgotten anything else. This is my reality. And I had a quick conversation with my husband, and then I thought, no, this is so strong. I still can't remember that part. So I thought, okay, I'll go back into the bedroom and I'll go back into that space. And then I'm looking at my father and realized, oh my God, he had gone. He is gone. That's only him via spirit. And then because I couldn't remember, I actually started crying. It was like somebody had just told me he had died for the first time. So I sat there trying to comprehend, what the hell is this? And I just had to sit with it. I sat with it. And then I got on the phone to a friend, and so I could talk it out, and then I could dissect what had happened. And the first thing I said, oh my God, is this a fault going on in my brain there? And she said, no. She said, think about it. She said, everything that you're coming out with is what you've always said. And we sort of dissected it all. And I said, I've always said, we're going to go out into their frequency and join in with them, because when we're on that higher frequency, we are going to match up with theirs. So we're here, they're there, and then when we start shifting up, we then can participate and see them and experience. And while I was talking, I could relay and go back into that whole experience again. And then while I was talking it through, just gently, I could remember. But do you know what was fascinating for me? Is what I could remember was like it was right in a distant memory of when, to when I was born, right back then. So I knew it was there, but I wasn't connected to the heartache and the pain of that experience. I just remembered of a distant memory, but I was no longer connected into the emotion. And I said to her, this is really bizarre. I remember everything. And it's all there. But my psyche has pushed it out. So I don't connect into that memory because of the pain. But it's like it's faded, but it's there. So it confirmed that, yes, I do know that he's passed. And even when I went, because I've made a little space for my father, and I have his kari and this beautiful big light. I've put his picture and a big candle, and it's just beautiful, and of my father, my brother, and my husband's parents. And when I looked at that, I thought, and I looked at him and I went, yes, you have gone, and I've come to terms with that. And I even looked at my life and I thought, no, I'm not stressed. I'm in a really good space. But what I am noticing is that I'm shifting up. And I then realized that I was given the most profound experience with my father to confirm that when we shift up, and this is all of us, that we will reunite with our loved one, because I was interacting with him. And what confirmed again was the memory of how we've lost them actually just gets faded out. It wasn't that I forgot. It's just that it's an area of when you're on that higher frequency, that is of a lower frequency of an emotion that we've gone through. So why do we want to remember that heartache? But they did show me that I was able to recall it and look at it, but I had no emotion connection to it, but I remembered the story. And I thanked them and I said, okay, I get it. I get that we will be reuniting with them and we will be letting go of the memory of that heartache that we experienced with them. So I just wanted to come on here to say, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing. It took me the whole day to be able to process it and the emotion that I went through, because I've got nothing to relay, to compare, I should say. And there was nothing to compare of what I had gone through. So I just had to process, and the emotion was real of understanding. But what I wanted to pass on and share is, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And when you go through it, you won't be scared of it because you've heard this. And that I feel collectively we're all going to do it at different times, but all together, if you get what I mean. But they gave me that glimpse and it was incredible, mind-blowing. And a couple of friends messaged me last night before I went to bed and said, how are you feeling to go to sleep? And I said, well, I'm a little bit apprehensive because I don't know what to expect tomorrow morning. Well, here it is tomorrow morning. And what I did experience was I was very, very grateful that I re-looked at what I had went through, and then a person I love dearly is going through something medically, and so my gift, I'm able to do absent healing, and so I pulled that person up, and this was incredibly mind-blowing for me. And I don't know if you've watched on Netflix, The Good Doctor, and how he's able to bring up that person and look and channel through and find the blockages of the person, blah, blah, blah. Well, it was happening. I had like a 6D image of that person. I was able to turn the image. I was able to angle it so I could look down. I could go underneath, look up, sideways, turn it, left, right. And I was looking at everything on a completely different level, completely different frequency. And I was blown away that I was able now to have this new gift. And while I was seeing this on so many angles, and depending on which way I turned or wanted to view, I was able to see deeper right through. And it was on a dimension that I could see the blockage. I could see where it was going, what was happening. And when I was doing the work and the healing, I could actually see it, and I could turn the So I am grateful for that full experience, because that was mind-blowing. I know I keep repeating myself because it's actually harder to be out there relaying it and trying to voice it, because what I see, I don't have a vocabulary on this dimension for what I see. So I apologize, because trying to connect through on the different levels. But wow. Okay, that's all I can say. And take this, and if it doesn't resonate, that's fine. But this is what happened to me, and I just wanted to share to give you hope that we will be seeing them. And it's incredible. So have a blessed day. Enjoy the energy out there, because you will be noticing it's lifting, lifting, lifting. No matter what you're going through, stop and breathe and totally come back into yourself, because many of you, on what you're going through, you'll be scattering yourself out energetically. So bring yourself back in and just be totally breathe. And what helps is when you do it outside. I love doing it in the nighttime on a deck, and because everything energetically is very loud out there at night, because you're not having all the cars and people and noises. So have a blessed day and tune back into yourself. Find home in here, because, oh look, we are going to go through the most magical experience. So I love you. Thank you for listening. And also, when I looked out last night with the sunset, I also saw in the clouds a ship. So I knew then there was extra help coming through. So have a blessed day. Till next time.